Welcome, everyone. This is the Rotary eClub of Silicon Valley. Every week, we try to bring you stories that we think will inspire you in some fashion. We're a part of Rotary International, an organization of over 1.2 million people around the world dedicated to improving their communities and those far away. How can we make the world a better place? And our speakers today are two members of the Rotary family, and they will tell us more about their connection in the Interact and Rotaract spheres of Rotary and the work they have done on a project called Interactive Quarantine. Both are students. Vincent is in Interbach in Germany, in Lower Saxony, and Annie, who is from Venezuela, is in lower southern Mississippi, and I believe Bay St. Louis. And we are very happy to have you both and excited to hear your presentation. We hand the mic over to you.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for us to be here today. To start my presentation, I want to turn the captions on because it's always good, right? And we want to start this way. Can you guys imagine a world where Rotary, Ward, and community leaders know each other since they are teenagers?
We can because we are making it happen.
We both are exchange students in 2019-2020. Now we are interactors and high school students, and both are executive chair of Rotary Interactive Quarantine, a network that was born at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic to give a response to the need for connection of all the Interact students and youth exchange students. We are connecting youth, sharing cultures, and making friends from all over the world and opening opportunities for international service projects. Today, we want to share with you briefly how RIQ was born, what we have done, and where we're going. To start, let's jump back in March when all the service projects were closed down. All the Rotary activities were suspended. Everybody was feeling lost and confused. Then we decided to make a meeting with just friends. We didn't know what to do, had no clue what was going on in the world. Why not to meet? We were one of the first group to meet over Zoom, and we were 16 different countries represented by 70 people, all interactors and a couple of Rotarians and youth exchange students from all over. From that meeting, we decided to have a conference because why not? Our keynote speakers were President at the time, Mark Daniel Maloney, President-elect Holger Knack. We had Dr. Stanley Love, who is an astronaut from NASA, who shared with us how to be successful during isolation. We had keynote speakers like Dr. Todd, like President, Governor-elect Elizabeth Vincent, and a Rotary actors from South Africa.
At that point, we had no clue what we were doing and the huge impact we were and are still having on the Rotary world. President nominee Jennifer Jones, for example, invited us to participate in the Rotary Telethon to fundraise money to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The network was born from the need of connections between the participants of Rotary Youth. Something unique about us is we combine youth exchange students and interactors. We have done monthly meetings sharing in monthly meeting about the Rotary teams and monthly topics. We have created guides about membership and how to do peace projects. We have had amazing speakers during the year that we have been going on. Plus, we host a party with the RI Office for Youth Services to celebrate World Interact Week. We had over 2,000 interactors in that Zoom party.
It literally was amazing. And in addition to the conferences and the party, we have hosted 18 meetings by March 2021, where the intra-clubs shared their successful projects performed during the lockdown. These meetings have strengthened the relationship between intra-clubs and Rotarians, with the participation of high-level leadership Rotarians, such as the president of the Rotary eClub of Silicon Valley. She's thankfully here today, the founder of the Rotarian Action Group for Mental Health, members of the Elevate Rotaract Task Force Committee, Rotaract for Peace, the Rotary Action Group for Peace, and the RI President nominee Jennifer Jones, and of course, Rotary International President Holger Knack. Without any doubt, the most significant activity promoted by RIQ are the 20 meetings. RIQ has served as a platform to connect hundreds of Interact clubs for them to have the 20 meeting, where 2 Interact clubs from 2 different countries meet and share about their country and their club, and reinforce one of the Rotary tradition of exchanging club flags. More than 150 twinning meetings have been done through RIQ. That's over 300 Interact clubs.
As you might see, RIQ Rotary Interactive Quarantine has grown to be the biggest representation of interactors and youth exchange students in the Rotary world. We have been invited to present to several conferences, rallies, district, and club meetings in all the levels of Rotary, Interact, Rotaract, and of course, Rotary clubs.
So here's a little sneak peek into the future of RIQ.
We want to connect Rotary youth, provide a network for the students to know to meet each other. It's not a secret that people that participate in Rotary, Interact, and Rotaract are community and world leaders. We want to connect them all.
So as Annie already said, we want to use the internet to virtually connect the students, broaden their minds by showing them different cultures and different ways to work in other countries. So we really want to educate global citizens.
We want to provide mentorship and guidance for all the interactors and youth exchange students, teach them how to be a president, how to be a secretary, all the tools and leadership advice that Rotarians have that we want to provide for youth.
And last but not least, we want to create a space for Rotary youth to work in collaboration with Rotaractors and Rotarians to get a stronger Rotary youth programs. It is so important. We want to raise Rotarians.
Now we are in the end, almost in the end of our presentation, but summing up, we want for you all to take with you 4 different things. The first one is that Rotary youth bring something unique to the table, not just because we're really good on social media, it's our natural environment, but we have different ideas. We have a different perspective of the world, interactors and youth exchange students. And we as Rotary youth need your guidance and need your help and your support. You know, there are wonderful ways to mentor youth students. You can pick your own young leader that you want to mentor and you want to change that person's life.
So there are actually 2 types of levels where we would like to have action. So action on the local level. You can do something as well. We would love to see like a creation of an environment for Rotary youth to collaborate with Rotaractors and Rotarians and reaching out to your local youth programs such as Interact, Rotary Youth Exchange. Basically on the international level, it is kind of the same. We would love to see that Rotary clubs, sponsor Rotary clubs, encourage their Interact clubs to join Rotary Interactive Quarantine, and as well to get you as a Rotarian or Rotaractor as well involved to be a mentor or a speaker or a trainer at RIQ. Just in general, get involved. Thank you.
We will appreciate your time and we are really grateful for this opportunity. If you have any questions, we're going to be happy to answer them all.
Well, we certainly have questions and we are excited about what you are doing. What a wonderful presentation and a wonderful effort. Let's go ahead and stop sharing for a moment. We'll introduce the people that we have on the recording. So in addition to Annie and Vincent, we have our president this year, the indefatigable President Raquel Juncal. All right, we have our SOTA Global Grant key person, mind, etc. That is Cecilia Babkirk. She is here in the Bay Area. And we have Jens, who is joining us from Germany, not too terribly far from Vincent, although President Raquel, who's currently in the Netherlands, may be even closer. So with that, let's get some questions going. So I'll ask the first one. Annie and Vincent, you think about the different ways you've connected and how this has really kind of grown quite organically. Are there things that others have brought, other ideas that other interactors have brought that really surprised you for how innovative and interesting they might be? I'd be very curious about some stories along those lines.
Yes, definitely. I think RIQ has been the platform for interactors to bring their own ideas. or we were born without knowing what we wanted to be. So this was really organic, and it grew really organic, and RIQ is growing because of the interactors' ideas. There are a couple of them that I would like to highlight. There is a project by an interactor in Israel called Hear My Story, and he wanted to do a project to raise awareness about bullying and people's stories. And he decided to have his own community called Hear My Story, and he invited people in RIQ, and now they are like a daughter or son project of RIQ. And there is another interactor she is from Northern Africa, and she wanted to meet people, and she just wanted to talk to people. Now she decided to have social meetups, and now we adapt that as a format of our meetings with like a social for Rotarians, but social meetups for interactors. And like those two examples, we can go on all day.
Fantastic. Cecilia, I know you have a question.
Yes, actually, you two may not know what this is, but I'm an evacuated and returned Peace Corps volunteer. I was volunteering in Southern Ethiopia teaching English to 11th graders. And so I have given a lot of talks to Rotary clubs and one Interact club, and I would love to try to connect them with you guys. It's an Interact club in a middle school, which is grades usually 6, 7, and 8, or 7, 8, 9. So they're 12, 13, 14 years old, and this is a really active group. They're trying to raise money. I did a program for them on how to do crowdfunding and all of that, but I think it would be great for them to be connected to the wider world. And so I can get your contact information from Raquel or Rushton, and then if it's okay, I'd like to connect them with you, because I think that they would be really inspired.
Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing, like having a very active club who actually really wants to do stuff, and something like it always gets new people, new ideas to the table, and it definitely broadens up everyone's mind, I think.
Sure.
And I think you actually, just hearing your story, I think you also would be an amazing speaker. If you have time, that would be very great to hear from you.
I have nothing but time. Right now, I'm being held hostage in my own country when I really want to be somewhere else. But I do plan to return to Ethiopia. I hope things will be stable enough for me to go there in October. And I am connected in the wider Rotary world there. And they do have Rotaract for sure, but I don't know. I'm sure they have Interact clubs, and they're pretty active within their own world. But Ethiopia is a country with big connectivity issues. But let's stay in touch, and I will do what I can to try to, broaden that world for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sure. And just connect with me separately. So my email address is, to make it easy, my name, you see it on the screen.
We'll get it in the chat for you, and then that'll be able to handle that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Cecilia. President Raquel, I know you have a question.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I know that connections between groups can sometimes be complicated, and as a former Rotaractor, that was definitely a challenge. But what message would you give to Rotaractors to collaborate with you?
Thank you. Something that we really wanted to mention and we really wanted to highlight is RIQ. It is what it is today because of Raquel. She has been our Rotarian mentor, and she has been with us in the last year, and her support I'm speechless. And so we really wanted to thank Raquel for that. And thank you for the question. It is really a challenge, and it has been a challenge for us to connect with Rotaractors and create that, because it's a different environment in Rotaract, but we have been blessed with Rotaractors that can support us and that want to support us. I think one of the key for the connection in a local level for Rotaract and Interact is for the Rotaractors, when they have an event, not just to invite the Interactors to join, but invite actually the Interactors to the planning committee. Like, we are planning an event, so we're gonna invite an Interactor, one, one interactor from the Interact Club that's close to plan the event with us, not just send them the invite and see if they join or not. Rotary actors are great. Rotary actors can actually practice their leadership skills and the skills that they are developing with us. If they need to practice public speaking, it's a great way to go to an Interact Club and speak, because we're all kids. We don't know that you don't know. So it's a great way to practice and develop those skills. I don't know if Vincent, you want to add something else?
Oh yeah, I actually want to add something. So these are all amazing points, but with like I think the resolution 2019 of RI, with the whole Elevate Rotaract issue, I don't know how to say, I'm sorry, but Rotaract clubs can also sponsor now actually Interact clubs. So if you really want to like strengthen the connection and basically from interactors become Rotaractors, and the kind of like ultimate goal is of course to become a Rotarian maybe, or I guess, yeah, I see from Rushton, but so actually Rotaractors can, they can do a lot now, and they definitely can, yeah, they can try to charter Interact clubs and sponsor them, and through this they, as Annie already said, they will learn their leadership skills and develop them, and also maybe get like more friendships already, like we have in RIQ. We have people who are from Israel and Germany, for example. I was just thinking about Lana and Daniel. They grew friends, and it's just amazing to watch. So yeah, thank you for the question.
Wonderful. So a question for each of you, although slightly different question. When you think about what the opportunity to connect with people around the world means, my guess is that you are regularly inspired by the ideas of the other people in RIQ. And so I'm curious what kinds of things you might be working on, and maybe it's connected to RIQ, maybe it's not. For example, Vincent, I know that you are working to charter the first eInteract club in Germany. And Annie, you may be working on a similar project or some other project. And it would be great to hear more from you two about that inspiration that allows you to do things at a next level in terms of developing your leadership.
Will you want to answer first, Vincent?
Yeah, of course. I will. I just want to ask the same question to you. Yeah, so you got it completely right. Like, I am trying to charter an eInteract club. That basically, so after I returned home from America to Germany, I actually really wanted to have like an Interact club, because it's not like very common in Germany, as well as the whole Rotary world, the Rotarian family is well known all around Europe. I think we also from RIQ experience, we can say that, just because it's not there like as it is in the US. So I just really wanted to go out there and with a few friends start an Interact club. But because of the pandemic, and actually also the international eInteract club we are creating, or it is created now, I think, officially chartered. I wanted to kind of do something similar to that. So we started the eInteract club, which allows a lot of different people and a lot of more people from different communities to actually join, because everything is virtually. And I think you guys seeing it as well in your club, that you have someone joining from Germany, and I don't know, I think you also have a member in Singapore, if I'm informed correctly. But you get a whole other community, kind of like recreating 20 meetings, for example, in a smaller space, sorry.
Then I got next. To just add about the Interact Club, we are also we are helping develop an Interact Club for middle schoolers, and it's sponsored by the Rotary Club of Southern Scotland. They already started, and they are all in middle school. So it's such a cute little group. It's really nice. The information is in our website, by the way, if somebody it's interested in that. They are all middle school students in an Interact Club. It's absolutely amazing. And about my answer for that question is that I'm involved in an organization called War Beyond War, which is an international organization to abolish war. And because I got connected to War Beyond War because of the Rotary Action Group for Peace. And now we are working on an educational project in collaboration with the Rotary Action Group for Peace and War Beyond War. So from that experience, we decided to create a War Beyond War youth network. Students from all over the world, mainly college students, that we want to be advocates for peace projects. And it's absolutely amazing. And I got involved with it because of Rotary. So it has been a great way to connect with my passion. It's something that Rotary does.
Fantastic. As we always do, before we finish, we will hand it over to our speakers for final words. Before we do so, there are several thoughts to share. First, Annie and Vincent, how wildly cool to have you with us. I've got several more questions lined up for after we finish the recording. As we always do, we like to continue talking to these cool speakers we find once we have finished our recording. A perk of being part of the live gig, we'll call it. For all of you who are visiting us, please let us know you were here. That helps us better tailor the different things we do to the needs of guests. And we also will note that by putting in your email address properly in that form, you will get an email that you can pass along to your club secretary to make up a missed meeting, as it is a wonderful thing to have 100% attendance. 100% attendance, really what that means is that you really make that effort to get inspired to make a difference in the world every single week, somehow. Additionally, at the bottom of this meeting, you'll find our discuss section, DISQUS, and we would love for you to leave some comments. What is it about this program that struck you as fascinating? What is it about other content in the meeting that stood out for you in some way? Do you want to leave a message of encouragement to someone or respond to a question that someone else left? You have that opportunity in our forum. And so we hope you will leave thoughts there. We love hearing from people, members and guests around the world. With that, I will hand it back to Vincent and to Annie for the final words.
Thank you. We just wanted to thank you guys for the opportunity to share our project and share what we're doing. I think Rotary Youth is not just the future of Rotary, but the present. We are doing amazing things all over the world, and it's because of the support that we have had from Rotarians like you. So we really want to thank you for that. And we are gonna, even when Rotary Interactive Quarantine has a quarantine war in it, we're gonna keep working as a group after the quarantine's over and we go back to normal. We start a new normal. So we just keep in touch, and you're gonna receive news from us really soon. So thank you.
Yeah, I can actually just echo what Annie said. Thank you so much for the opportunity we got. A very big shout out to Raquel. Thank you so much for your support, because only with this support from I don't like to say this type, but I don't get another word for it right now. I'm sorry about that. But from this type of Rotarians, we can grow, and also the Rotarian family or the Rotary family can grow and develop itself within itself. So it is just amazing. It has been an amazing time. And just thank you so very much that we got this stage today.
Wonderful. And if you two are representative of Rotary Interactive Quarantine writ large, then I can safely say that the future is in good hands. And everyone who is watching, we will see you next week.